Okay, today I'm going to show you how to use Adobe Premiere, and the first thing we'll do is go to the Start menu, All Programs, and go to the Adobe Master Collection CS5, and in there you're going to find Adobe Premiere Pro CS5. Alright, and it's going to load up, and here we go. This is the welcome page. And there's a couple of options. New project, which is what we're going to choose. There's also open a project if you have an old existing project that you want to come back to. And they also have a menu here. There will be listed projects that you have recently worked on, and you can click on that. I'm going to select new project. Alright. As you can see in the new project window, the first thing they want us to do is give our new project a name. So I'm going to call mine birthday demo. And the other thing you'll want to do is select an area where you keep your project file. So I'm going to browse and go to my computer and find my hard drive and then my username, and I created a special folder for my video projects, and I'll stick it in there. Okay, now that I have that selected, I'll click OK. When you first start off with your sequence, and you have to determine your new sequence, what file size and format your video footage is, and we're going to click on the digital SLR 720p, and we have footage that's 60 frames per second, so we're going to click that. Here we give our sequences a name, and usually you have more than one sequence in a movie, so it's numbered, but I'm going to change it from sequence to birthday 01. Okay, and now that I have that all correctly selected, I'll click OK, and it's going to load up. Now, what you can do when you're creating a project to make things easier in case something does go wrong is you take your all your footage and any music that you might think you're going to put into your movie all into one location where the project is. In this case, it would have been on the hard drive. That way, if I had to change computers, I could just move all the hard drive, and all the resources are there, and it'll open up and work. Alright, now that we have Adobe Premiere open, you can see that Adobe will go to its resource center, but we want to go to the project window here, and this is our project window. As you'll notice, there's a nice little yellow line showing that I've selected the project window. And if I select a different area, it'll get the yellow line on, so it'll tell you where you're working. Alright, so we want to go back to the project window and import some footage. And there's one way you can do it by going to File and then Import. You can hit the shortcut Control-I, or you can just right-click when you have the project window selected and click Import. Okay, and you'll want to go and find your footage, and I'm going to Samsung, my username video projects, and I've got this birthday song footage, and I'll click Open. And it's importing the file, and you can see a preview here. If you want to select that footage, you double click on the icon, and you'll notice that it opens in this preview window. This is a good place to cut your video and get it exactly how you want it before you put it on your main timeline here on the layer down here. So I'm just going to scroll through, and you'll notice that the footage is quite bad here and jaggedy and bumpy, so it's something that I'm not going to include. I can scroll with this little playhead here and move back. I see myself jumping in, so that's probably right when it's getting good. And what I'll want to do is hit the set in point right here. And what that does is it's selecting the footage where I want it to start. And I could move my playhead down and see if that's really what I want, and find out if I wanted to have it leave or set out. I think I might take it all the way to the end, and I'll put the out point here. Alright, one of the things you could do is just want the video and have your own sound, different audio over it. So you could click here to just get the video, and if you wanted just the audio, you could drag that down to the timeline down here. The other way to get your, if you want both, is to just click the insert button. So I'm going to click that. You could probably also just grab it here and drag it down. As you'll know, it's it tells me it's 40 seconds and some. And if I wanted to expand my view and see it, I could move this like this, and it gets down. I can see a bit more of the timeline. So as I go down, this is set 32, 24. I can drag it all the way here. I might do a little bit larger so I can see there, 4 seconds. Okay. The other thing I want to show you is how to quickly make a title. You click the title up here. Okay, you can go new title. There's different ones. You could have a default still title that doesn't move. You can have a title that rolls across or scrolls or crawls, sorry. And you can also grab some of the templates that they have here, and you can click based on template. I'm going to select a default still one. Okay, and I'm going to give this title a name. I'm going to call it birthday, and I'm going to call it intro, because you also might have an ending title where you put the credits or the scroll, and you'll want to separate it with a name. And I'll click OK. All this has been matched to my sequence settings, and the titler program opens up. And the great thing about this is it's got all kinds of, we can create all kinds of different titles, and they'll be very original and different from others. They also have some sample titles here that you can just take down here as you scroll. Now you'll notice some lines here. These are to show you and warn you of areas that you really don't want to go out of when you're titling. Okay. And the first thing I'll do is grab the type tool, select it, and make a title box or a typing box here, and I'm going to type in the words happy birthday and Sarah. These are my twin nephew and niece, Sarah, and we call them Nan, short for Nathaniel. And I'm going to highlight that. If I want to center it in the box, I can center it that way. If I wanted to center it in the page, they have these two buttons here, which, you know, a horizontal center, it centers my box, and a vertical center, so it centers it there. I might want to choose some of these preset fonts, or I can choose some here and use the font list here. But I'm going to just grab something down here quickly that looks like birthday writing. I'll just go with this. Okay, so we've got happy birthday, and you can see there's 4 colors. Alright, I'll leave that like that, but you could, if you wanted to change the colors, you could, I might want a blue, and click in there, or a red, and go along here and select some red with some borders. Okay, and change the colors. Okay, but I'm just going to leave the happy birthday the way it is right now. I'll close this title page, and you'll notice that I have the happy birthday intro title, and I'll drag that down here. Okay, and you'll notice that it's not very long, and what I'm going to do is zoom in so I can see it. Okay, and I'm going to drag that so it's longer. I've dragged it and I've zoomed in quite a bit because this is only the 1 second mark, and I'll drag it out so that it gets to about the 4 second marker right there. Okay, and then it's going to say happy birthday. You can come in here and control some effects. You can get transition effects down here, video effects, and these are audio effects. But what I really wanted to do was have the words fade out, so I'm going to look at the opacity. Alright, and I'm going to just put my playhead right about at the 3-second mark here. Okay, and you can see that it moved up here, and the opacity is how clear or not clear your see-through your images, or your words in this case. So I'm going to add a keyframe at the 3-second mark, and it's at 100% at the 3-second mark. And then what I'm going to do is go to the end of the title here at the 4-second mark and stick another keyframe. And here I'm going to bring it down to 0 so it disappears. And what I should see is the happy birthday kind of fades away as we were singing it. I might shrink it just a bit. Okay. Alright. Maybe and then my keyframe has disappeared, so I'm just going to click edit, undo, and leave it the way it was. Okay. Last thing I want to show you is how to export your video when it's ready to go. So I'm just going to click here, File, and Export Media. Alright, and we've got that. It's going to load up the export page. Okay, and this gives you a quick preview of everything you've exported to make sure that you've got it what you want. You can match the sequence the way you've made it, or you can select a different format. I'm going to be posting mine up on Vimeo, and I might want it SD or HD, but you also have choices of YouTube SD, YouTube HD. You have different qualities and formats that you might want to choose, but I'm going to right now pick HD. And the other thing you'll want to do is, I know this says the output name, but it also is where you're going to save your file. So I want to make sure that I put it somewhere where I can find it. So I'll double click on that, and right now it's not going to the hard drive that I want, so I'm going to go to my computer, Samsung. In here I'm going to go to my name and stick it in the same place where my video folder is. Okay, and I might call that birthday demo final. Okay, and then I'll click the save. And there's other things you could adjust here if you wanted to for your output to make sure that it's exactly how you would want. And you can look at your audio. But everything's the way I would like it, so I'm just going to hit the export button. And it will render. The one thing you'll know is that it does grow in time here. It'll say it's 2 minutes, and then maybe it'll jump to 15. But if you have a long movie, and this was only 45 seconds, and it's taking almost 2 minutes to render, you might want to give yourself a lot of class time to make sure that it gets finished before you're done. Okay, that's everything for now.